This is a Fatal 4 podcast.
Now Jeff Hardy thinking about the twist of fate early. Oh, and Jeff Hardy couldn't get all of it there.
Well, it's the show. This is Didn't Get All of It, the wrestling podcast. Folks, we're not having the best week. I'm sure we're all feeling a very wide range of emotions. Things have not gone some people's way. Some people, maybe it did go their way. But some of us are all feeling a little sad because we didn't get the Sandman on NXT this week. And Moo Deng predicted Rhino, so now we get 4 more years of Rhino. Speaking of 4, also joining me is the Fatal 4. B-Rob.
I had something, but it's too depressing, so I'm not saying it anymore.
Well, we'll save that for another day, I guess. Also here, speaking of depressing, Cody.
Hey, everybody. Yeah. I just don't understand, how we could let this happen. We had a show at the ECW arena, and you don't have the last ECW champion, Ezekiel Jackson, there. What are we doing?
I don't get it.
Also here, a guy who does not know who Ezekiel Jackson is, Pro Wrestling Noah.
It's true. I don't know who that is, but you know who I do know who that is? Rob Van Dam.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about that. We'll get
He's
there.
the whole fucking show.
So this is Didn't Get All of It. We're a wrestling podcast. We'll get to that eventually. I think some of us probably have not had the best of weeks, but we're going to get through it, and we're going to charge forward with all of our best podcasting might to bring, I don't know, a show to people that might be entertaining. Who fucking cares? Who cares? Nobody cares. We're just going to talk about stuff, and you'll like it or you won't. But if you do like it, hit up the Patreon, because we do podcasts there with no ads and also bonus shows. Patreon.com/Fatal4Pod. You can support us that way. You can also go to the shop. It's hoodie season if you live in one of the blue states, because everywhere else is hot as hell. It was 90 today in Houston. Can you believe that shit?
You mean
Yeah,
just
we
today?
We are officially in hell, so
Yeah.
checks out.
It's only going to get hotter.
Yeah, that's not getting fixed anytime soon, I'm sure. Yeah, it was 90 today. Cody, how's the weather where you're at?
It had been chilly the last few weeks, but then all of a sudden, this week, it's been upwards of 80. And it was
That still sounds nice.
today.
Dude, it was 69 today is your high.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to B-Rob for the forecast.
It's hot.
All right, so I don't even want to ask what we did this week, because I'm sure it sucked. So let's talk about some wrestling news. I'll lead this segment because we didn't figure this out before the show. Speaking of things that suck, maybe not for us, but for the people involved, Baron Corbin, Tegan Nox, and Indy Hartwell will not have their contracts renewed at WWE. How do we feel about this? I like Tegan Nox. I'm a notorious Tegan Nox liker,
Yeah,
but
me
even
too.
I'm not surprised by this.
Yeah. I'm surprised she even stuck around that long.
Wasn't she released before and then brought back, and now she's released again?
Yes. Baron Corbin was a shock to me. I thought he was like a lifer for this place, but then again, that's not even a real word anymore as far as wrestling goes.
Yeah. I can't say that I'm gonna miss Indy Hartwell or Tegan Nox. They really didn't do anything. They didn't move any needles for me. But
Surely
Baron
it's
Corbin
better
is
than a needle.
Baron Corbin is a surprise. I think he was totally mismanaged and misutilized. He was booked horribly at times, but I felt like he did deliver when called upon, and I enjoyed his matches. And his latest NXT run was fun. The stuff with Braun Breaker, like there definitely could be a role for him somewhere. And it's just a shame that he's just kind of unceremoniously kicked to the curb.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know what you would do with him. I think they also are in that position. Like they kind of have their toys that they're playing with, and that's it. I'm a little surprised by Indy because they do use her.
I'm not.
I don't think that she's not, blowing me away like everybody else says she will, and maybe that's for her to prove now. But I feel bad for like her travel buddies who, they all seem to love each other. So that's a bummer, I guess, for Johnny and Tommaso and Candice.
Yeah. It also seemed like she was pretty blindsided by it. Like
I think she found out from the tweet.
Started reporting on it, and then she retweeted and was like, "Wait, what?" Like, that's
maybe that was a joke, but maybe it wasn't. I would hope that they would have called her first.
Yeah, that she got the classic phone call.
Yeah. Well, selfishly for didn't get all of it Japan, I hope that she goes to Japan and does Stardom things or whatever over that way so we can talk about it. I'm not sure. I don't think so. So that would be a new experience for her as well, that I would be interested to see, stuff like that happen.
I mean, it would make sense for Indy Hartwell to wrestle on the Indies.
Yep.
She doesn't own that name, though, does she?
I mean, she was indie wrestling, right? Before she made it to NXT.
I don't think so.
Oh.
Mm-mm.
No, her name's Samantha.
Samantha wrestling?
No, that doesn't work. Her name is not wrestling. It's not her name, never has been, never will be.
Well, I mean, she can get around it. She can just be like the letters ND wrestling or something.
Like Eugene.
Uh-huh. Yep. Exactly.
No. Independent Hartwell.
She could be Nick Dinsmore wrestling. Indeed. It's perfect.
Indeed.
Speaking of leaving,
she's gonna need to go on Indeed soon.
Speaking of leaving, Bruce Pritchard and Michael Hayes are on leave for personal and family reasons. I'm not really sure what to make of this, other than I'm sure it has something to do with Vince McMahon. I can't imagine what else. Though that probably won't be a problem on January 21st, and he'll probably be back in WWE by the end of February. So,
Black History Month.
Oh, that's history, by the way. I don't know if you got the memo.
I can't imagine this is not related to the Vince McMahon investigation one way or the other.
I mean, Bruce Pritchard doesn't have a family. That dude works at WWE. He lives there. The only person he loves is Vince McMahon. I saw the documentary. That's where he gets his food. He's the mid-human centipede.
Oh, no.
Oh. I don't know who's at the end, but he's definitely in the middle.
The Undertaker.
The fans for 25 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, the back spot's good because you can do the wave with your hands up and down, praising the person at the top.
That doesn't sound delightful at all.
I've thankfully never seen this movie, but I get it.
I have seen. I've seen about half of it before, and I was watching it with my girlfriend, my wife then girlfriend, and we were basically playing. My wife then my girlfriend at the time is my wife now.
Whoa.
What's hard to understand about this? Yeah, I corrected myself.
You said my wife then girlfriend twice.
My wife then girlfriend. No, I said my girlfriend.
Well, you got divorced and made her your girlfriend?
And then you divorced her, and then you started dating, and then you got married again. Make up your mind, sir.
Anyways,
what's going to happen when I drop these Legos off at his house?
That's reference to a conversation that was happening before we were recorded.
Yeah, they heard it. They heard it.
I was watching this movie with her, and we were basically playing chicken, where like we were both getting more and more uncomfortable as the movie went on, and we hadn't even gotten to the centipede part, but I think we were getting close. And then like I just looked
You
down
were
at her
edging.
at one point. That's right. And I would look down at her at one point and I go, "Do you want to keep watching this?" And she goes, "Oh, thank God, no, I don't." We both just like turned it off and changed it to another movie.
I watched the first one to completion, the second one to completion, and part of the third one.
So like a minute and a half each.
What do you mean? That's a long ass movies. Oh, I see what you did there. Never mind.
I think I've seen all of them. It's just been like a decade.
What?
But I've seen them all. Yeah.
That's surprising.
Yeah, I didn't get to finish the third one, but like it was almost out of punishment and intrigue at the same time.
Which one's the one where she gives birth to a baby in a car?
That might be the third one.
I think that's the third
That's
one.
just like the future, man.
No, that's the second one. That's the second one.
Is it?
Because she smashed it in
Yeah. Of all the stuff in those movies, that was like the most memorable scene for me. She gives birth to a baby and then steps on it.
Yeah.
No, I don't like that.
You know,
Well,
like
That's what they were saying was happening during the debate.
yeah, you know, like
Maybe you just watched that movie and thought it was a documentary.
you know those plastic dolls or whatever with the little wonky eyes or whatever. You squeeze their head and it curl up like a Capri Sun. Yeah, that's what happened to that child in that movie.
You guys should do a podcast called like The Spooky Boys, and it happens every October where you talk about this stuff. Have you thought about that?
We tried.
Yeah,
Noah's
I never really
busy.
considered it.
I'm busy. We're both busy. Let's be clear.
know.
We're both busy.
I know.
No, I had to go to the zoo. All right, you can't just
Yeah, busy at the zoo.
do a podcast. It's zoo time.
They have
Noah-
birds.
Noah
There's
is Zoolander.
billboards in this town. There's billboards telling you about the new birds. It's a big deal.
The billboards are telling you about the new birds. This is the worst Trump impression in the world. Because if it was good, that would be mean. And we all know I like him. Please don't deport me.
I thought we were talking about wrestling.
We are. We're going to talk about your favorite wrestler because
Which one?
News out this week is that Goldberg and WWE have announced that he will be having his retirement match in 2025. Who
Now I'm
did
happy
Goldberg
about this.
Wrestle?
I don't give a damn who he wrestles as long as he retire.
Chris Jericho?
Sure, fuck it, take him with him.
I mean, it's got to be Gunther, right?
I think it should be John Cena.
Ooh,
No,
Why
don't
waste
know
it on
about
a
that.
young guy when you could just do a cool thing?
that's a cool idea too.
I mean,
actually.
he's that this is supposed to be his last tour, right?
Ah,
John Cena.
Yeah.
yeah.
Goldberg Cena for WrestleMania sounds fun to me.
As long as he retires and never comes back, fine.
Well, unless he wants to.
I hope he doesn't.
I ain't
But
gonna
you know
stop.
how wrestling is. Fucking Ric Flair.
Yeah, but this is Goldberg. He's better than Ric Flair.
If you want to give somebody a rub, Gunther or Braun Breaker are excellent choices.
They don't need it.
But if you want to just do something fucking cool, John Cena, Roman Reigns.
I don't know. We see
All the
Goldberg
people-
Roman.
No, do them all. All the ones that do the spears. Put all of them in a match together.
I'm 90% sure we've seen that match. Yeah. No?
Yeah, they hugged at the end. Remember?
Oh yeah, we did.
Yeah, he tapped him out.
Elimination Chamber 2022. I did not remember that at all.
Yeah, because it sucked.
It was in Saudi.
2020
And he hugged.
year for nothing.
So this is another beef I got with that Goldberg motherfucker. So we had this shit about, you know, he didn't want to put over the Fiend because that's not something his fucking character do. Also, he got beat the fuck up by Roman Reigns and he goddamn hugged him at the fucking end. That ain't something his character do fucking either. You sorry son of a bitch.
Yeah, but Goldberg was smart. He was like, this Fiend stuff is dog shit. I'm not laying down for this guy. But I'll put over Roman because he's going to be the star. So why not?
But you complained about him the whole time either way.
Yeah, I don't like them, but like I see where Goldberg's coming from. They footballed together, not together, but they footballed.
That sounds. Ugh.
Something you got to pay for that kind of stuff. Footballs probably won't be legal much longer, but enjoy your footballs. Speaking of balls, let's talk about WWE ID. We talked about this last week. It's their prospect thing. I guess they're announcing like people that they're watching. I don't really understand how this works, but they did announce some prospects, including someone named Zeta Steele from CZW. She is she looks like Tiffany Stratton.
Hold on, she's blonde. That's about it.
I mean,
similar faces.
That's the thing.
They have similar faces. She'll fit right in on NXT as one of them. And then they also announced Bryce Donovan. He looks like Guy.
That one I'll give you. He certainly does look like Guy.
He is from Wrestling Open. And then the one we're all going to be watching, the best wrestling name in the history of pro wrestling, Cold Brew Cappuccino Jones.
Fuck yeah.
Scouted from This Is Wrestling.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's my new favorite wrestler. I don't
He
care.
looks
I've
like
never seen a match. I've never seen a promo.
He looks like the future of wrestling. How are you gonna have a name like Cappuccino Jones? If they sign this guy and bring him in and call him like Larry Lucas or some bullshit, I'm gonna be so mad.
Well, you know they're gonna like put him in a tag team with Joe Coffey.
Oh no!
You see where he's from? He's from Coffeyville, Kansas.
Matt, has Matt been?
Gimmick. It's great.
Has Matt been there?
I don't know. I'll have to reach out.
Coffeyville, Kansas. Who does the Froggy Brew and the Tea Caffeinator?
Yep. You put them with Joe Coffey, and they can be the Irish Brew.
Yeah.
And then, like maybe a couple years later, you give them a vampire gimmick, and they're the Irish Brood.
This prints itself. All the money.
Yeah. It's so easy. Wrestling's so easy to book.
So easy
Why is it ever bad? Imagine it being bad. It's so easy. So that's the news from the last week. Nothing bad happened at all. So coming up after this break, we'll talk about, I guess, Raw and NXT, and we'll save AEW for the end. But yeah, they had some shows this week we can discuss. People like it when we talk shows. We'll talk shows when we come back.
It was Mackenzie and I's anniversary last week, so she
See, what we said it. We knew this was gonna happen.
What happened?
It's your anniversary. It's your week anniversary of your anniversary. Happy anniversary.
Last week, the reason I missed the show was because it was our anniversary.
Which anniversary? 6 months, 7 months, 8 months?
It was 2 years. Shut up.
Listen. 2 years, 6 months.
So we got each other some gifts, and she got me. Let me turn on my video for you guys. How do I do that?
I marked it for 20 minutes.
Here we go. She got me.
Oh my god!
Oh my god!
I'm gonna get you up and take it.
But look at this. Look what this says.
CM Punk.
My official WWE Shop.com friendship bracelet says
CM Punk.
CM Punk. Call him NXT.
And we're back to talk about some of the shows. A show that happened this past weekend was WWE Crown Jewel, which was a show that happened. Not a ton of consequence. There was some decent match. I thought the ladies match was neat.
Mm-hmm.
But that's like really all I remember about Crown Jewel. Anyways,
all the creative gear.
Yeah, that's always fun. But the show stuck around in Saudi for Raw, which was on Monday, and there's some. I thought it was a good show. I've off recording. I've talked to some other people, and it seems like it's pretty lukewarm reception. I had a fun time watching this show, but we had some new number one contenders coming out of this thing. Io Sky won a battle royale for the ladies division, which was pretty
battle
good.
Royale with cheese.
Did we like this battle royale?
No.
Maxine had a big shirt.
The finish, of course. Otherwise, they'd have to take an arm or something. The finish of this was really cool with the German suplex
German
on the apron.
On the apron,
bridge.
yeah. And then she stayed there on her head.
Yeah, she was stretching. That was crazy.
Yeah.
Awesome. I think Io Sky should win the title.
I think so too.
I agree.
I think she should win more often than not.
I don't know. I just feel like this Liv Morgan program has
Run its
coming
course?
close to running its course. Yeah, and like Rhea keeps getting hurt.
Yeah, especially now that Rhea's hurt. I feel like you can put the program on the shelf for a little bit until Rhea comes back.
And I think we're kind of past the needing the belt for that story anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, so I think
revisit it down the line because I know that like a big part of it is that, you know, Dom lost or cost Rhea the belt, and so like it is a part of the story, but it's kind of evolved past it. So I think you wrap it up, and then maybe I do think you do Rhea Ripley versus Dominic Mysterio at WrestleMania, and then I think in next summer or something you return to Rhea getting the belt back. But
yeah, I think whenever she does make her return, it'll be to cost Liv the world title, and then they can just, if they continue to do something, they could do something without the title. That'd be cool.
Yeah,
and then all that stuff.
I'd also like, if you get the belt off Liv, Rhea and Liv can have a quick match when everyone's healthy, and then pivot to Rhea and Io for the title, which would probably be awesome.
Yeah, I wouldn't hate it.
Has that happened before? Surely that match has happened.
Possibly. What's this typing? I hear typing.
another.
It has like on Raw and stuff, but I think. But I don't know. Has it? I'm gonna look that up.
Well, speaking of matches that happened, the last match that happened on this show was also a number one contenders match, and it was a fatal 4-way match between Damian Priest, Dominic Mysterio, Sheamus, and Seth Rollins.
Did you think at any time that Dominic had a chance of winning?
No. I know some people did, but I didn't. You did.
Pardon me. Yeah, kind of thought.
I remember you talking about it like in the Discord.
Who, me?
Yeah, you were like, oh, all this just to put the title on, or to get Dominic the shot after Bronson Reed showed up and beat everybody up.
Oh yeah, that's how I felt. They got me. It was just like they did all this just for shenanigans. I was like, all right, yeah, that's what I felt. But yeah,
Bronson Reed beating everyone up was cool though. He like killed everyone. Yeah, they're booking that guy right. They're booking him like a
outside of being able to win matches.
Well,
yeah, exactly.
There's that too.
By the way, I did my own research, and turns out Rhea Ripley and Io Sky have never wrestled on the main roster, but Io Shirai and Rhea Ripley have wrestled in NXT a few times during the pandemic era, and then of course they were in War Games with each other twice.
War Games.
Give me that match. Give me that program.
Yeah.
Also, shout out to doing your own research, kind of like the new thing. Kind of like the thing you're gonna have to do. Is there going to be a hurricane? Hard to know. Do your own research.
But Damian Priest ended up winning the Fatal 4-Way match. Freaking caught the classic catching Dominic in midair for a South of Heaven.
Into the South of Heaven. Yeah.
Always a cool spot. But how do we feel about Damian becoming the number one contender?
It's fine. He's not.
It's okay.
That. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, if they want to give us Gunther and Priest one more time, that's fine. It was a good match.
I thought we were going to go to Gunther and Sheamus because we know they can do awesome matches. Didn't happen. But Sheamus getting involved in the Bronson program is going to be good.
Yo, yeah. Yeah, it's going to be good stuff.
The beef bangers.
Well,
that definitely sounds like a British meal.
Yeah, I mean, bangers and mash is delicious.
I'd like, please, sir, I'd like one beef banger in the mouth.
What? What?
Whoa.
Type that down. Put that in the notes.
Pause.
Pause, son. No Diddy.
Anyways, there was also another match that I really liked on this card was Dragon Lee versus who'd he fight?
Get that bang out your mouth.
How much did you like the match? You don't even know who you fucking wrestled.
Chad Gable fucking just tossing him around. It was crazy. Anyways, turns out Chad Gable and Dragon Lee can wrestle a really good match. Throw those two together and just cool stuff
Would
happens.
have seen that coming.
Would have seen that coming. But another cool thing that happened on this show was the Sammy and the Usos promo.
I'm sorry.
B-Rob,
It's still getting me.
Oh my god.
He could.
I'm gonna mute myself. I'm sorry.
Okay. We all love Arrested Development references. So yeah, Sammy and Jimmy. Wait, no. It was Sammy and Jay, right?
We're supposed to know. They split them up, and we're supposed to know.
Well, okay. So first, at Crown Jewel, Sami Zayn made the save after the Bloodline match to a massive ovation. Some miscommunication led to Roman Reigns spearing Sami Zayn. Well, not miscommunication, just Soulless Code got out of the way, and then they hit each other. Cool spot. So on Raw, Usos were talking and kind of arguing with each other about, what had happened at Crown Jewel, and then Sami Zayn came out, and Jimmy was like, I don't trust this guy, and Sammy was like, what do you mean? You're the one that we shouldn't trust. And lots of turmoil, but I don't know. We all know where this is heading. Obviously, War Games, Sami Zayn is going to be
War Games
on their side. But if nothing else, it was cool to see Sammy's reaction over in Saudi, and he, posted online like his gratitude and stuff for that moment, being able to speak Arabic and be there. So cool for him.
Yeah. And that match was cool the first time it happened. I mean, that half of the War Games match.
What, at Crown Jewel?
No, when we had like the lineup of like Sammy and the Usos.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't really talk about Crown Jewel because it was kind of like not remarkable. The Bloodline match was interesting because they couldn't interfere in their own match 25 minutes in. So like they actually had to like do stuff, which was interesting.
I mean, if you pay attention to the dirty sheets or whatever, they did sign another one. So
they're just 3D printing them.
Yeah.
And now they got big belts. Cody and Liv got big belt. Liv got ring. I guess.
They gave Cody's everybody a ring. Cody got a ring. He couldn't fit it on his finger.
Oh, that's right.
I think the ring. They resize it.
Yeah, I think the little ring aspect is cool, and then like that can go back to Cody's Ring of Honor gimmick, to where he wore a ring of honor and made people kiss it.
Sure. Yeah, they don't have enough rings in wrestling. It'd be cool if there was some guy who had like a ring that he won every year, and he hit people with it sometimes.
Yeah, I would like that.
Paul, do I got some news for you?
Is that a thing that happens? I would love to watch that.
There was something that happened related to that this week.
Yeah.
I thought, I don't know. I felt like the Saudi shows were very skippable this time. I know people skip them all the time for moral reasons.
Other reasons, yeah.
Like for wrestling perspectives, they're just kind of like there.
These ones felt very much like the first year or two of the Saudi shows in that they feel very non-canon, and that you could just skip them and not really miss a beat. I mean, it's really the like Uso, Sami Zayn developments were like the only things. But even so, like watch SmackDown this week, and I'm sure there's going to be plenty of that. So
I want to see if they bring back the greatest Royal Rumble. I want to see that green belt again.
I don't need to see that.
It was the only time we got to see Kurt Angle and Daniel Bryan work each other, so that was cool.
I forgot that happened. They had like a little bit of interaction there.
Yeah.
Then they had a fake Yokozuna.
Who was that?
I don't know what that means.
Yeah, it was like they had a legit Yokozuna, a sumo wrestler, show up.
Oh, there's more than one sumo wrestler, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I mean, that's like their title, though, Yokozuna. I mean, look it up.
Okay.
Hey, well, while Paul's looking that up,
What is Yokozuna like Tiger Mask? There's several of them. What are you talking about?
Did anyone watch the NXTCW?
Oh, it's the highest rank of sumo wrestler.
No shit.
You just said that's what they call sumo wrestlers. I'm like, no.
Yeah.
Sumo wrestlers are called sumo wrestlers. Yokozuna is the best one. Got it. That makes more sense.
See what happens when you do your own research, Paul?
Not the best one. There's like 73 Yokozunas, so.
Anyways, did anyone watch NXTCW?
Yes.
I did. Paul always watches it for something other than what he is
I love
seeing
NXT.
in front of him.
He watches it every week.
I watch
know.
it every week if somebody says Joe Hendry's name, and I guess they all learned to stop doing that.
Yeah, so then we decided to say it, and now we get to see him.
Yeah, hopefully.
We better.
I'll make that call tomorrow.
My favorite thing to do on this show is say, this NXT show was ECW heavy. They even had an ECW cold open.
Yeah. It was the coolest cold open I've seen in a long time.
Folks.
Would you like to elaborate on this cold open? Huh?
This week, more than ever, was proof that people in this country are fucking idiots. Because constantly on Twitter this week, I saw people referring to the intro to this show as a cold open. That's not what a cold open is.
No, it's not.
In fact, it's the exact opposite. That is a hot open. That is a intro video. It is a video package. A cold open is when a show starts cold with no introduction and it just goes right into the show, like SNL does every week. Or sometimes The Office would famously do cold opens where it would be like a Jim and Dwight prank before they
are always sunny in Philadelphia.
Yeah, that is a cold open. This
or like this week when they had a video package.
What?
Before the show started.
No, it's not a cold open. It's just an intro.
Well, speaking of a hot open, I'm sure some people were hot for this match because the Butt Girls had a hardcore match. Jada Parker and Lola Vice
kind of whacked
each other. They hit each other with a lot of metal things, made a lot of noise.
It's fucking garbage. These two are not good. People need to get over it themselves.
I mean, I like them, but it was pretty whack.
No, it's
I hated the finish of this. Like they wrestled for 15 minutes of just smashing each other with weapons, and then all of a sudden, Jada Parker finds a brick and just breaks it over.
Oh yeah, that was like wild to me because like the brick, like but the brick spawned there. It's like I didn't see it fall out of a prop. I didn't see it come out of a trash can, and it just like it was there on the apron all of a sudden.
Auto character. She probably put a cheat code in her cell phone and it appeared.
Oh, maybe that's a possibility.
Yeah. Lola kicked out of brick to head.
Yeah,
but instead of like doing anything after that, Jada Parker just did a fast drive-by butt move.
Yeah, she did the Roman Reigns rev up super spear with her ass.
That's
yeah,
it.
and it looks
like
like
why
garbage.
kick out? Why kick out so she can do her finish? The brick should have been the finish.
Yeah, it really
And
should
it
have been.
sucks. It looks so weak.
But yeah,
Kalani and RVD had a segment, and RVD last week was like, I'm going to do something on this show. It's going to be really cool. And Wesley beat him up with a chair. My only hope is that we do get RVD versus Wesley at some point. But he was in his gear, and he did nothing on this show. He did absolutely nothing. Because we did Javon Evans and Wes Lee, and they did all of their flippy stuff and running and jumping. And at one point, RVD comes out and
does nothing.
I don't know. We saw RVD wrestle Swerve on TV this year, and he looked phenomenal.
Yeah,
I thought here he looked like shit. Like there might be a reason why he didn't wrestle. It looks like he's aged like 10 years in the last 12 months.
Maybe he like hurt himself stretching or something. It seemed really weird. I'm gonna do something, and then him put gear on the show and then do nothing.
Weird.
Bad hair dye. Just wasn't even like the backstage segment with Kalani is supposed to be like an homage to his old backstage type pre-tapes where he would be stretching and like doing the split between two metal chairs. Looked cool as hell. And he was just like had one leg up and was doing a stretch looking like me before I go on a treadmill. And then Kalani too, by the way, was just like splitting on a box.
Yeah.
She couldn't do the chair thing. That would have been cooler.
She can do the chair thing. We've seen it.
She's done it.
Has she?
Yeah.
Then why did she do it? That's the one time RVD's there. She doesn't do it.
Well.
So one thing that they did last week was tease that the Don was going to have to meet with somebody. So we assumed we were getting an FBI thing. What I didn't assume was that Nunzio was going to wrestle.
Yeah.
Did not expect that.
Was it a long match? Because like I did like the 30-second skip on the streaming app, and then they're all hugging in the ring. I was like, God damn.
It was kind of a comedy match, but it was good. Like for a 50-year-old scrawny guy, Nunzio looks pretty good.
Yeah, let me Google
he does.
Nunzio. What's a
Nunzio? I've seen some scrawny wrestlers lately. At least Nunzio looks like he lifts.
Ooh, well, don't worry. We'll talk about that in the next segment. But yeah, I thought Nunzio looked great, all things considered, and filled this role perfectly well. And I loved the finish with him. Like I don't know what is Tony D's finisher. It looks
it's
almost
Joe
like
Hendry's finish. He does. Yeah, he does the choke slam thing.
Yeah, that. But while Nunzio was up in the air, he did the prank.
The thing, the Undertaker thing.
Yeah, like he did against the Undertaker, and that was cool. This was fun.
Yeah.
I think this was now that I think about it, as we're reading back, they promoted for days that Ava was going to make a big announcement on NXT. And her announcement was a future NXT show in a different building, which has to be a shot at Tony Khan.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
has to be. They spent days promoting this segment.
Yeah. They're going on the road again.
Yeah. So they announced that Minneapolis is going to host Deadline on December 7th, which is a month away. It feels like December is forever from now because it's still 80 degrees outside.
Yo.
This led to what's his butt? Robert Stone?
Yes.
He was making fun of the crowd and talking about how other crowds are better. And then they did the ECW lights out thing. Surely this is the Sandman. It was not. It was Rhino.
Yeah, what the hell? Like, I thought for sure as soon as the lights went out, we were about to hear or whatever the knockoff
generic noise.
Generic ECW. Because at first I was like, oh, Enter Sandman. I was like, nah, they didn't pay for that. It's going to be
They're not paying for it.
2006 music.
Which I liked just fine. It was Rhino instead.
It was Rhino looked cool. Rhino, yeah.
Isn't he still wrestling TNA right now?
Yeah. He is still currently wrestling. Not currently with TNA, but still out there booking the cities and the towns.
All right. Good for Rhino.
I also don't know what a rhino is.
You've been to the zoo in the last week.
God damn it, Noah.
I didn't see the rhinos. We didn't go to that
Guess
exhibit.
you're gonna have to go back to the zoo.
You have to go back to so I can learn what a rhino is.
Tell Moo Deng to try again when you get there.
Oh, Moo Deng. Now that's a zoo I want to go to.
Fuck Moo Deng.
Oh.
Animal. I hated that animal before he fucked up the country.
I would like for that to be the show title.
Fuck Moo Deng. Could be. Add it to the list of options.
Fuck Moo Deng. Oh, no.
What else was here? Was there any other nostalgia things? That Dawn Marie was in that match earlier. Francine was in the crowd. She looked stunning.
Yeah. Dawn Marie and Francine looked pretty good.
I feel like the ECW women aged better because they kind of looked bad in the 90s and like 2000s.
They probably were doing the hard drugs then.
They fit the grimy look of ECW and not like in the most flattering way, but they look stunning today. So good for them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Bubba Ray and Trick Williams took on Ethan and Ridge in a match.
Didn't like.
And I didn't like it either. At the end, Bubba was going to do the get the tables to Trick Williams, but Trick Williams couldn't find any tables, so Devon came out with a table, and they just chokeslammed. They didn't even do a fucking 3D.
Yeah, that was
They
weird.
just chokeslammed Ethan through a table.
That was really, really weird.
Also, Devon was there the whole time?
Yeah. Why are you letting Trick Williams take these get the table spots? Don't do that. They're not all the same, Bubba.
It should have been Wes Lee. Or Javon Evans. Or Ashanti the Adonis.
Devon's there. There shouldn't have been any of them.
Which, by the way,
Anyway, that was the match that took place.
I'm going to go on a side quest here. Ashanti the Adonis. He had a backstage segment on the show with Carmen Petrovic, whatever her name is.
Yes.
Someone who should not look as pretty as she, like, who looks like that? She's stunning.
Can someone explain to me what's going on there?
She likes
supposed to be a ladies' man.
Yeah. Go ahead. Continue, Paul.
She doesn't like him, but she definitely likes him.
But she likes him.
Okay.
She's playing hard to get, and so is he, and it's really fucking dumb because the show is written for teenagers.
CW.
Yeah. Okay. He remembered her birthday was last week. So did I. What's the problem? I did too. Just because I didn't say first when you posted on Instagram, now all of a sudden you can't talk to me. What else? The main event was tremendous on the show. The 5-on-5 good ladies versus bad ladies match. Quite good.
Mm-hmm.
Quite
so
good.
What you thinking of the
tag?
Yeah, so what you thinking of the new components that they got to the roster?
What, Julia and Zarya?
Yeah. Yes. Zarya. Cha-cha-cha.
They're great.
Word.
Actually, the fact that they put Zarya and Jordan Grace in the ring together so quickly does hurt a little bit.
Uh-huh.
Because they kind of have identical bodies and they have similar presence. And I know we wanted to do something neat for this show. I would have kept them apart.
Mm-hmm. You know, and that's what I was saying. It's just like, I didn't want to use that term, but it was more or less like, we have Jordan Grace at home, but then again, you have Jordan Grace in your home. So it's like, what the fuck?
Get out of my home. Maybe they're doing it because when Jordan Grace's contract is up, she's not going to waste any time in NXT. So they figured, let's do this stuff now.
Just get all that out of the way now. Yeah. I can see that.
That's probably the case because she's not someone you wouldn't call up right away. She's ready.
Yeah. January or sometime around that is should be the tail. I think that's what they restructured the contract around.
I'm sorry, did you just say January?
Yes, I did that on purpose.
I was just gonna let that slide.
I thought that was
I did it on purpose.
WWE ID.
Yes, January. I'm sorry. I don't want to give that month too much power, seeing that the 6th is coming up soon.
Unfortunately, nothing will be happening on the 6th this year.
I don't know. You guys want to? Let's talk about that off there.
Hey,
you guys want to go down to the Capitol? Yeah, let's do it.
Furniture, yes. Capital Furniture. Let's go.
Capital Furniture. Gonna go buy a couch.
Should bring back capital punishment, and it should be on January 6th. That's what that's the Netflix debut. They should have that episode. You know, like when AEW will sometimes name their dynamites, like winter is coming, whatever. I think January 6th, Monday Night Raw, Netflix debut should be capital punishment.
There you go. Book it.
Yeah, I don't really like that.
No.
Anyways, was that NXT?
Yeah.
Is that all? Okay. Well, we should probably take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the rest of the shows that happen.
Welcome back.
All right, everybody, shut up so Cody can do the intro. If that's gonna work every week, I'm gonna keep doing it.
Welcome back to Didn't Get All of It. Before the ad, fuck. I see.
How are you gonna fuck this part up? This is the easiest part of the show.
You fried his brain. You fried it.
We're so punch drunk. Oh my god.
All right, hold on. I got this. All right. Welcome back to Didn't Get All of It. Son of a
Please keep all of this.
I already timestamped it.
Welcome back to Didn't Get All of It. Before the break, we were talking about the special Wednesday night NXT. You might have flipped the channel on over to TBS and seen that AEW Dynamite was airing at the same time. Although, according to the ratings that came in today, not a whole lot of people did that. But nonetheless, we did, so we can talk about it for you. The show started with Hurt Syndicate. How do we feel about the formerly known as Hurt Business in AEW?
Or formerly known as the Beatdown Clan.
Sheldon Benjamin wasn't in the Beatdown Clan, was he?
Oh, but this is all an incarnation. Bobby Lashley was in the original. Anyway.
I mean, I like MVP. He's a great mouthpiece.
Just MVP?
Always has been. Well, I mean, the other two are good. I like Bobby Lashley a lot. Shelton Benjamin, obviously, has done cool stuff so far in AEW.
Mm-hmm.
I like the way they're being presented. They feel like a big deal. Which
they feel like an actual faction, which says a lot in this company because a lot of the factions are just like some guys, whereas these guys actually like make sense together, like they have a purpose.
Yeah. Right. I agree, and watching this episode made me kind of realize like there's too many fucking groups in this company, and to your point, a lot of them are just mismatch of people, and they're just clumped together for reasons.
They have a group called the Conglomeration.
Right.
Yes.
What's their thing?
Which, like,
they're a bunch of guys.
Yeah. Like, they're kind of funny and entertaining together, but like there's too much of that. Like the Don Callis family is just a mess of people, and like the baby faces, like it just feels like every story right now is like a group versus like a guy, and therefore a guy has to form a group.
Yeah.
Like Will Ospreay and Ricochet and Friends. We've got Orange Cassidy and Friends. We've got, against the Death Riders and against the Don Callis family. And it's just too much of that shit. And that being said, Hurt Syndicate makes sense and they feel important and big. I just wish that they were the only group, because then they would feel even more important and even more big. But nonetheless, I enjoyed their promo and the simple promo that it wasn't even a promo. Just Swerve came out and just said full gear Bobby Lashley, and MVP accepted. So
want a match? Okay, that's how that happened.
Do we think anyone gets added to this group?
I hope
because there
not.
was a segment on the show also where they talked to Ricochet for a second backstage, and MVP had been handing out his business card to a whole bunch of folks.
Yeah.
What if
all the minorities?
Hang on. What if you add Lio Rush so that he can ask Bobby Lashley to hit him with the favorite pose?
I mean, we've been saying this since it was a possibility. We was even saying it when it wasn't a possibility. They were in two different companies. He was like, yeah, we need to bring Lio Rush in so he can ask him about his ass.
I do like that. I do just feel like there does need to be another person because, the coolest time for the Hurt Business was when Cedric and Shelton were tag champs and Bobby Lashley was WWE champion. And I feel like
MVP won a MMA tournament.
I feel like they should do that again here. But Benjamin needs a partner, and Cedric Alexander just re-signed with WWE. So yeah, Lio Rush could work. I could see. Yeah.
Out of all the people they propositioned, the ones that he handed the cards out to that I can remember was Lio Rush, Action Andretti, Max Caster, and I think that's it so far. Oh, Ricochet, as you said, and Swerve.
And Mercedes Moné.
Yeah.
But it'd be really cool. Samoa Joe.
It makes sense, but
he was in the B-Town Clown, right?
Yeah, you're right. But I was like, I don't want that really, but okay.
Anyway, so we're getting that at Full Gear. It's Bobby Lashley and Swerve. That'll be fun. And then more groups, Death Riders.
Officially.
Yeah, I guess that's their name now. No more BCC. We have the Death Riders of Moxley, Pac, and Claudio, and Wheeler Yuta, I guess. I thought they kicked him out last week, but and
faked it.
Marina Shafir. Yeah. But yeah, Pac and Claudio wrestled Orange Cassidy and Darby Allin. This was a fun match.
It was really great match, I thought.
But my issue is more not the match itself, but the story here. Orange Cassidy feels very second fiddle in this to Darby Allin. Darby Allin is much more over, and that was very apparent in this match. And I don't know, it just feels like Orange Cassidy he's looked like a bitch this entire time, and I feel like this is kind of 3 years too late.
That's what it feels like. This is what it feels like for a lot of their originals or people that came in early on into the company, because you just seen Private Party win the tag titles, which felt like, took way too long for that to happen, but whatever. And then now you're doing this with Cassidy and Darby and everything, but whatever. Too many toys in the box.
I don't know.
I would like to see that belt on Darby, though.
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, but it's I don't know. So do you have Moxley win here and then Darby Allin takes it from him eventually? Or
it started with him.
Cassidy win, because I do feel like Orange Cassidy should win the title. It just feels like now's not the right time because I don't know, he's just
what
not
Darby's doing.
Yeah. So I don't know. One thing I did really like though was that this match kind of I think it ended in a no contest because of interference, but it seamlessly transitioned into the next segment when the rest of the conglomeration came out to make the save, and Excalibur did a good job of explaining they would have been out here sooner, but they were getting ready for their match.
And they've been doing that a lot. They did that last week with the Young Bucks and Private Party.
Yeah, no, I appreciate the right, because one thing that I criticized AEW a lot for was that everything felt very what's the word? Compartmentalized, I think is what I'm looking for. Like everything just kind of lived on its own island. It didn't feel like a cohesive
Very sectioned off
show. Yeah, it was like, okay, these guys are going to do their segment, then they're going to go away until next week. Then these guys are going to do a segment, they're going to go away until 2 weeks. These get, and it just never felt like there was ever a whole lot of like overflow or overlapping of stories. And so I appreciate these segments transitioning one after the other, and then the conglomeration had their match with Chris Jericho and friends, and
that's when I got up to do the dishes.
Yeah, it was whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I do want to talk about another match on this show: Adam Cole versus Malachi Black. I'm gonna say it. These guys are washed.
These guys?
These guys?
This match sucked.
Malachi too?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, like he wasn't there.
Yeah.
These guys.
I don't know about that.
Well, tell me why.
I think I know about it. This match, it was boring. Like all they did was kick each other.
Well, that's what they do. They've always done that.
I don't know, man. Adam Cole he's a shell of his former self. He looks terrible. He looks like he has jaundice. He looks like he weighs 100 pounds soaking wet. He looks terrible. And he didn't do it. Like this match, it felt like I was watching a video game. And I know like when commentators say stuff like that, it's like, Ricochet does this crazy cool flippity do. And it's like, wow, he's like out of a video game. No, that's not what I mean. I mean, it's like literally like sit down and watch somebody play 2K online and all they do is spam the same move over and over again. That's what this match was, because Adam Cole just did super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick, super kick. And it sucked. And then the finish was one of the cringiest, just terrible. Like, man, I love Shawn Michaels. He's my favorite wrestler of all time, but like, fuck him for the "I'm sorry, I love you" moment, because he ruined a generation of wrestlers, because everybody tries to do some bullshit like that every now and then. And this sucked, where Malachi Black just sat crisscross applesauce in the ring and was like, finish the job, and Adam Cole hit him with his weak ass knee. And
also, he had to come online after this, out of character. Yeah. Out of character, and assure everyone that like he's happy with this company, he signed a deal and he's not leaving.
Yeah, which none of this makes any sense, because there were a lot of reports that like, oh, Malachi's on his way out. And I mean, I watched the show, like I would have also reported that, because he sits down and takes the finish, and then he like looks back, and Adam Cole is like, this is one of the greatest opponents I've ever had, and he like, Malachi looks back at the crowd and they cheer his name, and he basically gives a thumbs up and walks out, and it's like, oh yeah, that looked like and
it was also like a lot of out of character like sportsmanship from Malachi, like from what his character has been portrayed as.
Yeah,
right. And so then for him to go online and be like, I'm not going anywhere, it's like, okay, then why the fuck did you do that? This was, I don't know, and maybe they're going somewhere with it. We'll see. Maybe Brody King kicks him out of the House of Black because he's gone soft or something, and they do a program there. I don't know. But as it stands right now, I hated this match. I thought everything about it was awful.
Yeah, Brody King also feeding into the speculations by saying that he always knew that Malachi wanted to go away and started a circus with cats after seeing him watch hours and hours of cat videos.
So doesn't all this nonsense kind of take away from the match in general?
Yeah. And then
which was bad from what I'm understanding.
And then Adam Cole, does a promo after the match, like targeting MJ, or like talking about MJF, and man, I don't care. Like this feud, this story was like start stop for so long, and it feels we're going backwards, and like MJF's doing the same shtick he was doing years ago of being like, well, if you want to wrestle me, you got to go through all these trials. And
Cody, blah, blah, I don't know if you've heard, we are going back.
Oh, no.
That's kind of what's happening.
Fuck.
If you liked the Thunderdome, maybe. Maybe that is an opportunity for
wrestling
another
wasn't
plague.
even good in 2016.
I would
give you one thing if anyway. Yeah, so I don't care about the MJF program, don't care about Adam Cole. He needs to like get a real tan and lift a weight. Sorry. People can come at me for body shaming, but
I appreciate
your profession
that
is to like wear trunks and come off as a tough guy. Like you kind of need to look the part.
I appreciate that he is come back in his wrestling and doing what he wants to do. But
Absolutely.
I agree.
Sure.
Like, do the work, and the work is not Twitch streaming. It is bulking up a little bit, at least to like fill out your body. Like, let's be real. Adam Cole looked good in NXT. He was still tiny, but he wasn't like
he was fit.
I mean, look at Nunzio this week.
Like he was cut.
Nunzio doesn't even fucking do this anymore.
Yeah.
I still don't know what a Nunzio is.
It's Nunzio business.
You don't know about Nunzio? You know about little Guido?
I don't. I don't know what any of that is.
Well, regardless,
You know
I like
anything
Adam
about the
Cole.
FBI?
It bums me out that he is in this shape, and this is all that's happening with him. That's all.
Something they were promoting all night and week was Ricochet. It was going to be in the main event, in the tag match against Konosuke Takeshita and Kyle Fletcher, and that Ricochet was going to have a mystery partner. So we get to the main event, and his mystery partner is revealed to be Powerhouse Hobbs.
No, Powerhouse Hobbs.
Oh, I'm sorry. Perhaps it was because he has a score to settle with the Don Callis family. So, yeah, I don't really remember what happened, to be honest. There, like, I know he got hurt for real.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but I can't tell you the last thing he noted on TV. Yeah, I no idea.
I mean,
the last time I saw
remember
seeing Powerhouse Hobbs was seeing him in person when I was at AEW. Like I don't remember what he did before he got hurt, but obviously it was Don Callis family related. So I'm not saying this doesn't make sense. I'm just saying I personally don't remember.
Yeah, I don't remember like the details, but yeah, that he got kicked out, and I mean, I feel like that I liked this because it makes sense, and I guess he's a face now coming back.
Sure. Yeah,
it feels like
that's like what happens when you get hurt in wrestling.
Sure, yeah.
You get hurt, you come back as babyface.
Yeah, because people want to cheer you because they're happy
Adam
to
Cole,
see you again.
Powerhouse Hobbs. But yeah, the match was pretty good. It was fine. I enjoyed the Ricochet and Takeshita.
Yeah, listen, I'm gonna like a match that Konosuke Takeshita's in. That's, I feel like
he's very good. He's very
hard
very good
do to not like it.
It's a shame that he's just like lumped in this mismatch group.
Yeah,
he's way better than everybody else involved. But anyway, yeah, and then going back to the problem I had earlier is that, you know, after the match, a bunch of guys come out to help. What's his name?
What's his name? Will Ospreay?
Fat Mario. What's his name?
Fat Mario.
Yeah, the other guy from Irish Airborne.
Oh, that Aussie Cake.
Yeah, Aussie Cakes.
Yeah, what's his name?
I don't know.
Tell me his name. Someone here tell me his
Mark
name.
Davis.
Okay. Mark Davis.
I just call
AKA
him
Dunkzilla.
Does he sell insurance? What kind of name is Mark Davis?
Yes. It's very forgettable, obviously. Mark Davis comes out, and then Will Ospreay comes out, and yeah, a bunch of guys.
So brave of them.
Yeah, in this climate, come on.
That I don't know. I think that was kind of it for AEW. We're steamrolling, only a few weeks away for Full Gear.
Was that it for AEW? It doesn't sound like that was it.
I don't know. There really wasn't much else on the show. There's a really bad segment backstage with God, what's
Well, I mean, like, is the company going to continue? It sounds like it is.
Oh, gotcha. Statlander was like being interviewed by Renee Paquette, and then she like goes off camera, and Renee just does like the worst acting job of all time, and being like, "Oh no, look out!" or "Ah," and then the camera cuts, and Statlander was almost ran over, and who was behind the wheel? A woman. What's her name?
Camille.
Camille. Camille. And Mercedes was like, "You suck. You can't do anything right." And if you follow Camille on social media, then you know that's correct.
Well, what did she do on social?
Oh man, just
tell me.
Do the math. A wrestler on social media this week.
That's
saying things.
It's interesting. I guess on the bright side, though, like she's not going to be able to drive much longer because her rights are.
Well, if you saw the segment, you shouldn't be behind a wheel because she almost ran somebody over.
Thanks for speaking that out, Chris Paul.
What? Hold on. Were they SAWF? Were they driving a Mercedes?
No, Mercedes was not driving. Camille was driving. Mercedes was in
the but the vehicle they were transported in, was it a Mercedes? Is what I'm asking.
No, I think it was a Sasha.
Very well. Continue.
I don't know. It's probably a Cybertruck. Knowing Camille.
I saw like 3 Cybertrucks today. I'm so mad.
Camille. I just can't. How do you look?
The show is disintegrating.
Whose country is disintegrating, Noah? What do you expect?
Who looks at a Cybertruck and says, "Yeah, I want that"? What is it? I know beauty is in the eye of the beholder, but like, what? It doesn't even have. You can't even plug your iPhone into it and have CarPlay.
Can't even take it through a car wash.
They don't have CarPlay in Cybertrucks?
Teslas don't have it.
That's
a lot of these electric car companies don't give you Apple CarPlay or Android Auto. Because they think that their technology is like better, but it fucking isn't. Because car companies don't make good apps.
And they don't make phones either.
Yeah, like stop doing infotainment. You make good car. Let everybody else handle the infotainment.
I'm sorry, is infotainment a real term?
Yeah, that's the thing for the if you have a car with a screen, it's called the infotainment center. Or system.
I have no idea. What the fuck?
Yes, yeah, I am.
Kind of like what I buy my cars on now.
Yeah, I am updating my infotainment. I'm looking at getting either a 10.4 or a 14.5 in my truck.
I'm sorry, what are these
Screen.
numbers?
Screen.
Is that dimensions?
Yes.
Okay, gotcha. All right. I don't know shit about infotained.
Are you not infotained?
World Wrestling Infotainment.
That's what we do here, is we infotain.
Yes.
Did we do it? Are we done?
We're done.
We didn't get all of that.
Fuck, I'm ready to be done with this week. Yeah. Can you believe the Sandman didn't show up? What the hell?
When will he and where will he? Is what I want to know.
Could this week get any worse for Paul? Like
me?
Yeah.
Yes. It probably can.
I'm not going to find anywhere for that Daily Bugle Lego.
It's coming to your house, motherfucker.
That conversation was not on the show. No one knows what you're talking about.
People need to look. People listening. I'm moving soon, and I have a bunch of Legos, and I don't want to bring the Daily Bugle with me, so I'm going to throw it in the trash, or Noah's taking it, and that's what we're trying to decide.
Okay, you shouldn't throw it in the trash. Like, you could definitely sell it.
What do you want me to do, man? What do you want me to do? You want to go get it?
On eBay.
I'm not putting it on eBay. I don't have time to deal with that shit. It's all put together, too. Who wants to put together Lego set?
Are there little guys? Are there?
Yeah, all the little guys are there.
Got all the guys
on that thing.
Can I? Okay, if you throw it away, can I just have the little guys? That's easy to ship. I want the little guys.
No,
I just want the little guys. I don't want the whole build.
It's all or nothing. All or nothing.
Let me see. People are selling built ones for $250.
We still haven't ended the show. This is after the show business.
This one's $80. Maybe I'll sell it. It's gonna fall apart in shipping though, and they're gonna throw a little fit.
Goddamn! Just close this shit.
I'm gonna get a bad eBay review. Is UPS box destroyed? Lego set broken. Anyway, we didn't get all of it this week, folks. We'll try again next week. Maybe it'll be an okay week. I said that last week, and fucked up. I fucked it up for all of us. If you didn't get all of it, subscribe wherever you get your podcasts, write some reviews, buy some products on our website. Go to fatal4pod.com to figure out how to do all of that. You know how websites work. Click the things at the top, go to the shop, go to the Patreon, and we'll see you next week.